Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Niara Alexis, and today we're going to talk about something that I feel like not enough relaxed girls talk about, and that is the line of demarcation and how it is your enemy. So I feel like I don't hear very many people talk about this, and maybe they are and I'm just not in that corner of the internet, but the line of demarcation is something as a relaxed girl that you need to be very knowledgeable about and aware of and understand it so that you do not fall victim to a lot of breakage, a lot of just scraggly looking hair. Honestly, like that's, I feel like, what happens. Your line of demarcation is basically where your new growth and your relaxed hair meet. So obviously when you have a fresh relaxer, you don't really have a line of demarcation. It's all your hair's relaxed from root to tip. Like I cannot wait to throw my relaxer in a couple weeks because I have a line of demarcation right now, and baby. And what happens is when these two textures of hair meet, that's what causes it to be very tangly when you're growing your hair out. It gets matted easily. It's very hard. Like for me, when I was doing my braids, it was very hard to part my hair because at this point I have like 9 months of new growth in my hair. Like it gets very hard to manage your hair because you're essentially trying to work with two different textures in your hair, and where these two textures meet, it's a very susceptible point of breakage. That's why they say, like, if you can't keep up your relaxer, you should not get a relaxer, or you should do a big chop if you don't plan to keep it up anymore, because all that's going to happen is your hair is going to start breaking off. Because what you have now is this thicker, stronger hair that is growing from the root, and then this weaker processed hair that are coming together. And who do you think about to win that fight? The thicker, stronger hair, okay? Our roots. That's how you kind of see it, where you see people like they have really thick roots and then their ends are like really straggly. Like if you've ever seen someone that's like growing out their relaxer, that's usually what starts to happen, and why most people end up doing a big chop like if they're growing out their relaxer, because after a certain point you just can't keep fighting them anymore. Like you have to get rid of the end. So that's what your line of demarcation is, and there are a couple things that you can do to keep everything copacetic if you are growing your hair out. So for me, every summer, you guys know that I kind of leave my hair alone and I put it up in braids or twists or whatever protective style that I'm wearing for that summer. That is one way that I deal with it. After about 4 months or so, it gets to be unmanageable for me to deal with. That's why it would have made no sense whatsoever for me to try to wear my hair out this summer. I know I did it like once or twice, but as far as like consistently like wearing my hair out, flat ironing and everything, my hair would have started to break off if I had worn my hair out while I have so much new growth. It not only gives my hair a break, but it gives me a break so I don't have to deal with it, and I also don't have to worry about breakage. I put my hair up in these hairstyles, so it just puts my hair up in a way. There's no stress on that point where these two textures are meeting. The other thing that you need to be very aware of and mindful of if you are dealing with that is you're gonna have to spend a lot more time than you're used to doing your hair. So as like a relaxed girl, especially when you first get your hair relaxed, you know, that first like freshen up, like that first fresh relaxer, it's so easy to blow dry your hair, detangle your hair. Like everything is easier and everything moves a lot faster. When you have so much new growth, you're gonna have to slow things down more and more and more and more, to the point where you're just working through your hair as you would if it was natural. It takes a lot more time, it takes a lot more patience. So you're gonna have to be very mindful of that. You're gonna need to be using wide tooth combs, detangling your hair with a lot of slip in it, with a lot of running water. Like this last time I washed my hair before I put my braids in, I put a deep conditioning mask in my hair, but then to detangle my hair, I didn't just detangle it sitting here how I usually do with you guys. I detangled my hair under warm running water because it was easier for my comb to glide through the two textures that way. The other thing too, and I've told you guys about this before, I'm not really a fan of ponytails, but when you have so much new growth, you definitely need to stay away from ponytails because all that's doing is putting additional stress and pressure on that pain point, that weakened point in your hair. Especially if like your line of demarcation is like close to like where you put your ponytail. Like say if I like to wear my ponytails here and I have about this much new growth, about here is where my line of demarcation is going to be, and I'm going to start breaking off hair. So be mindful of that. I always tell you guys, claw clips are a great alternative to ponytails. Like if you just need to put your hair up and away, do a claw clip. If you just have to, do a silky scrunchie or something like that. But I would definitely try to stay away from them altogether, just so that you're not putting that additional stress at that point in your hair. And then lastly, the best thing you can do is give your hair lots of moisture and lots of treatment. So like hot oil treatments, using different oils in your hair like that you know that your hair responds to. Like I love Jamaican black castor oil, y'all know this. I put it on my hair all the time. Just find ways to infuse more and more moisture into your hair while you're in this process. I would definitely recommend though, you should not be dealing with your line of demarcation for too long of a period of time. I would say at the longest, if you plan on growing out your relaxer, maybe go like 6 months, 5-6 months, in that range. After that, you need to start thinking of like, how would I want to cut my hair? Because all it's gonna do is break off. And I know, yes, eventually like you want to get rid of the relaxed hair, but you don't want it to be gone in the sense of that it's broken off, because then your natural hair is going to be broken at the ends as well. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, as always, please leave them down below. I will always answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.